എവിടെ ഇതിന്റെ മെയിൻ ആള്? നീ എവിടെ? നീ ഇറങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല, പേടിക്കണ്ട. നിന്റെ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റില്
എന്റെ ചുണ്ടിൽ മൈസൂർ പാക്കൊന്നും നിങ്ങളല്ലേ?
എന്റെ ഉണ്ടോ? ഹേ, നമിത സേതു എന്നല്ലേ? എന്നെ അവര് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല, അവര് കേട്ടില്ല. Judges and the participants, am I audible? Participants and judges, am I audible? Good afternoon. Welcome to the final round of the 24th National Client Consulting Competition 2024, conducted by the Kerala Law Academy Law College in association with Kerala Law Academy Moot Court Society and IQAC KLA. We are here in the presence of three eminent legal professionals to judge the final rounds of the 24th National Client Consulting Competition 2024.
Firstly, we have Advocate Shyam Padman, Advocate of High Court of Kerala. Sir has an extensive practice in writ jurisdiction before the constitutional courts in India. Sir has a strong foothold in civil litigation with a special focus in the property dispute, labor law, consumer protection law, service law, personal laws, among all others areas. On behalf of the Kerala Law Academy, we extend a warm welcome to Advocate Shyam Padman, sir, to the final round of our competition.
Next, we have Senior Advocate Anil D. Nair Sir, Advocate High Court of Kerala. Sir has been practicing in direct taxes, indirect taxes, and company law matters in various courts since 1993. On behalf of Kerala Law Academy, we extend a warm welcome to Advocate Anil D. Nair Sir as he joins us for the final round of this competition.
Last but not the least, we have Advocate P. Srikumar, Advocate of High Court of Kerala. Sir is a senior advocate in the High Court of Kerala. Sir was a standing counsel for Kerala University of Health Sciences deemed to be university. Sir is currently the legal advisor to the Chancellor of various universities. On behalf of Kerala Law Academy, we welcome you, sir, to the final rounds of the competition. The court officers for this session are Digil PS, Shruti Suresh, Vaishnav Mepram, and we will be guiding you throughout the session. Judges, with your kind permission, shall we start the briefing session? Judges, with your kind permission, shall we start the briefing session? Judges, am I audible? With your kind permission, shall we start the briefing session?
We were unmuted.
Judges, can we start the briefing session?
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
please.
In fact, the judiciary was completely muted.
Weren't you able to hear?
Yeah, now you have unmuted it.
We
Yes,
could
actually,
hear
we could
you,
not,
but
Okay.
the host has muted us. That's the problem.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Three of us been trying this for quite so long, but we were not able to do it. But you were effectively able to mute us. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. So, can we start the briefing session?
please.
Yes, please.
Participants, please state your team code.
Good afternoon to everyone. We are TCAD. I'm speaker 1 and my co-speaker is speaker 2.
Okay. Candidates may please note I am going to read the rules. The total allotted time for the competition is 35 minutes. Of this 35 minutes, First 25 minutes will be for client consultation and the rest 10 minutes is for post consultation. At regular intervals, a court officer will be giving a verbal intimation as to time remaining. The participants are to keep the video on at all time throughout the meeting.
Client participants may please note, please switch on your video only after receiving verbal intimation from a court officer. After the consultation sections, you should leave the meeting.
Excuse me, the video has been disabled. We're not able to do it.
Access to justice is being denied by technology.
That's a slight technical problem from our side. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Is it completely muted?
So
Looks like.
judges are kindly requested to note there will be a 5-minute question answer session. The question answer session will begin after verbal intimation by a court officer. At the 4th minute of the allotted 5-minute, a verbal intimation will be given. With your permission, shall we start the session?
Wonderful, please.
Please.
Judges may please note, this is the final round with team code AD. Client may please note AD. Client may please note you can switch on your video. The participants and the judges may please note the session starts.
Good afternoon. I am Senior Associate in SS Law Firm. It's a pleasure to meet you. I hope you had a great lunch.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. Good afternoon to the judges as well. I'm a Senior Associate at SS Law Firm. Hope you're doing well. Before we begin our session today, can you please introduce yourself and let us know how we should address you as?
Okay. I am Mr. Vijayan. So you could address me as Vijayan. And I'm here with regards to a summons I have received yesterday.
Okay.
Am I audible enough?
Your voice is very low. Can you do anything?
Like, is it like really low?
Yeah.
Okay, just a second.
Thank you.
You are supposed to be the voice for the voiceless.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, like, is it audible now?
It's definitely better. I think we can continue.
Okay, thank you.
Can you please repeat your name?
Okay, I am Mr. Vijayan. So you
Vijayan.
can address me as Vijayan.
Okay, thank you. All right. Now, before we begin with today's session, just to give you a short introduction about our firm, SS Law Firm, we have been extensively leading in various fields of law, and we have a strong hold in all of them. So the firm has been in business for almost 2 decades now, and as attorneys, we've been practicing for over a decade. Rest assured that we are here to provide you with the best in class service and assist you in making an informed choice as much as possible. And we will try to accommodate all your needs and interests as you will express throughout this session. So safe to conclude that you are in safe hands.
So two people will be assisting you in this particular session. That is because if one of us is not there, so the other one will have complete knowledge about your case. And is this the first time you're attending, I mean, you're coming to a law firm?
Yes, it's my very first time.
So I would like to give you some information with respect to that. So first of all, whatever we are discussing in this session is completely confidential. During the course of our session, I will be making notes, and I promise you that it will be kept under lock and key. And this is a client-centric discussion. So I would expect you to basically control what information you want to tell us. But I would want you to be as open as possible, which would help us to solve your problem. And also, we will be mailing you a non-disclosure agreement. Our signatures are already there. So this particular agreement says that whatever discussion we're having now will be within us itself, unless you want us to reveal it to the third party. And there is an exception for this particular clauses, for this particular agreement as well. That is, if there is any criminal act or if there is any requirement for us to go and tell it to respective authority, we would do that. So my co-counsel will say how this procedure will work, will continue.
Thank you. So the session is for 25 minutes, which would begin with you briefing us about your problem, and then we will ask you certain questions to better equip ourselves with your problem. And regarding the fee structure, since this is the very first session and it's just an ice-breaking session that we're having today, it is entirely free of cost. But if you wish to continue with our services, we shall be giving you a retainer agreement after the session concludes. You can deliberate upon how the session went on for you today and then decide if you wish to sign it thereafter. If at all there is a situation involving where you are in a financial crunch, we also take up pro bono cases depending on the merit. This is to ensure that our goodwill is maintained, thereby establishing the fact that money is always secondary to us. Lastly, and finally, as a matter of policy, we tend to avoid conflict of interest. What I mean by this is that if at all you are seeking any remedy, a service from us, which is against one of our pre-existing clients, we shall have to end this session, unfortunately, and thereafter we shall recommend your case to another attorney. Do you have any questions regarding whatever we both just explained?
I'm very much comfortable and thank you for it. I mean, of
Thank you.
course, I did not understand a few terminologies, but I make sure that in the course of the process, I would, ask if I have any doubt.
Sure, definitely. Anything you have, please do ask us.
And of course, I would be transparent because, as sir said, I am the voice for many voiceless people. So I have no other option but to present my matter here. So I would be as open as possible.
Thank you for choosing us.
Again, reminding you, we would want you to be as open as possible. That will help us to reach an effective and efficient solution. So that being said, you can tell what issues you're facing right now and the reason you're here.
Yes, so I'm a permanent resident of Udayanagar. So what happened is that recently, I mean, yesterday I've received a summons in a suit yesterday, and the suit was filed by the Udayanagar Panchayat itself. And the suit was all about that I should not obstruct any construction happening because there's a construction of shopping complex which is actually going to take place, which is adjacent to the Ganesha temple, and I should not obstruct that. That was a notice I have received. But I really have to say that, I am personally myself, I'm a devotee of this Ganesha temple. I've been here for all these years, and I've got to know that the shopping complex is definitely supplying or is planning to establish a market of meat and fish, and that is definitely against my sentiments, and that will definitely hurt my religious sentiments and values, and that would definitely hamper not just me but all the devotees residing there, and that should not be entertained. So I do have a very personal, and I'm talking on behalf of all the other devotees also, and this cannot be entertained. And I would say that the worst part of all this is that the temple committee has no problem with this. The temple committee has actually prevented the construction. They have not taken steps to prevent the construction, and that was a shock for me, because temple committee should take care of people like us. They should protect. They should value the sentiments of devotees like us. And I'm too shocked to know that the temple committee hasn't taken any steps for this. And I got to figure out later that this temple committee as well as the Panchayat committee, they are from the same party, and they have joined hands for no reason. I don't know, maybe for the profit. I still don't know about that, but they have joined their hands, and it was very much intolerable when I got to know that the temple committee has actually issued no objection certificate, and it has completely given the consent for the Panchayat committee to construct the shopping complex, and that was a total shock for me. And again, for more clarification, I'm again saying that this, the out of the records, the total, the land, the temple land, as well as the Ganesha temple is 15 acres of land. And more importantly, most of the land has been gone for encroachment. And the Panchayat has been trying to construct sites in the encroached area also. And everything, and I was having confusion over here. And that is when the police authorities, I really thought that police authorities are there to protect citizens like us. The police authorities have actually, filed a case. They've registered a case against me and the other, devotees, saying that we have actually obstructed the official duty of Panchayat. So if this is the pace, if this is the strategies they are going to pull off against us, I'm so sure that within next, when the court and the police authorities joining hands together, in next 3 to 4 days, they will again start the reconstruction of the shopping complex, which I do not want it to happen. And even the police has threatened us that they would arrest, myself and the other devotees also. So this is my concern right now. I have to protect the sentiments. I speak for the interest of the temple land also, and I want to value the sentiments and the legacy I have been upholding throughout these years regarding the temple.
Thank you so much.
So before we give you some suggestions, we would like to clarify various aspects. So we will be asking you questions. So, and we want you to answer those questions as well.
Yeah, please.
You said that this shopping complex is currently being built. It's either has this construction already started?
Like sort of like started. It's like adjacent to the Ganesha temple. It started, not
Okay.
properly wise, but steps have been taken.
Okay. And
So you basically mentioned that you were summoned. So are you the only one who summoned? Do you have any knowledge about others who have been summoned? Or were you the only one who was? You can finish your answer.
Yes, it's me, and there are other 15 devotees, and they've also been charged for this. Yeah.
okay. So the entire 15 acres of land belongs to the temple itself, right?
It's more like I would say that the temple has a legacy of more than 300 years.
Okay.
And with my knowledge of my forefathers, the temple land along with the Ganesha temple has been donated to us by a Brahmin family, I would say 150 years ago. And so I do not have
Participant may please note you have 10 more minutes for consultation.
So I do not have a title deed to prove the ownership, but I'm so sure that according to the revenue, settlement registry back in 1903, it has specifically mentioned that the Ganesha temple, the property belongs to Ganesha temple, which they have stated it's 15 acres of land. So
Okay.
the registry has said that. So yeah.
Yeah. You said that you received a notice from the Panchayat Raj, right? Or what was there in the notice? What were the contents?
No, like I did not get any intimation regarding the notice and all. It was just a summons I've received.
Okay.
It was filed by the the Panchayat.
Okay.
So you also mentioned that there is a shop which will be there opposite to the temple, which will be selling, adjacent, which will be selling meat and fish. So do you have any proof saying that they will be selling meat and fish? Because they're still constructing it.
It's actually a shopping complex, and the proposed shopping complex has said that it will be having a market selling the fish and the meat.
So do we have any concrete evidence which say that, so that we can present that in front of court?
I do not have a concrete evidence to prove that what they are selling, but I've heard this directly from the Panchayat people, the temple committee also, because temple committee and Panchayat committee have joined their hands together for this, and have approached temple committee questioning what they're doing to us. Is this actually right? And they had totally ignored us, and that is when I got to know that these people have joined their hands, and moreover, the temple committee has sort of given complete consent for the Panchayat for this construction also.
So is there any recordings what they have told it to you, saying that meat and fish will be sold?
No, I do not have
the
any
shop?
recordings as such, but I would like to add on saying that the 15 acres of land was there, but presently we only have 3 acres of land.
Everything's been over the time encroached by the panchayat.
Yeah, I mean 3 acres of land, but then
Okay.
I got to figure out that the Panchayat has sort of claimed ownership for the 4 acres of land also, within the 15
Okay.
acres. Yeah.
So out of the 15 acres of land, have they built anything over like whatever 3 acres is left out of the like temple?
I would say that there have been like private properties, and there are like other sort of public like places and all, but there wasn't something evident for a controversy or something which has sort of hurt a sentiment, nothing like that. But of course, there were acres which was bought for private property, and people have been buying properties there, so that was there.
And the temple committee has never obstructed this or gone to file a case against the Panchayat Raj or anything, right?
Not really. Like I've never,
Okay.
I've never witnessed that also.
Okay. Another question. You said that the 15 acres of land belongs to the temple itself. So is everything of the temple managed by the committee, or does the idol itself have some authority and the Shebite
No.
has authority over?
No, actually, it's been completely managed by the temple committee. They have been like elected. So the
Okay.
tenure ends in next December. So they have been like elected, and it's like a elected committee only. But I do
Okay.
not belong to the committee. I'm actually a member of the association and
Okay.
like a secretary of the association, and I speak to the devotees there, and we do speak to protect the interest of the temple land. But my association is not registered; it's unregistered only. But the committee is
Okay,
well.
thank you. So within what radius is the shopping mall located
I
to the
really,
temple?
I really do not have
Like,
an.
what's the proximity?
I mean, I do not have a concrete idea about it, but of course, I do have the copies about it. So I think that will serve the purpose. But I do not have much knowledge regarding the property details and all. I only know that they have been planning the construction thing, and they've been going forward with it, and it has been also agreed also.
Okay, one more question I had. You said that when you were there around the surroundings, the Panchayat Raj members told that the shopping complex will be having mostly shops of meat and fish, right? Were there any others present there? Like, did others also hear the statement made by the Panchayat Raj members?
I mean, it's more like, it's I feel like they have been like targeting us, the devotee session only, and I feel like that completely. And I've been getting that, the temple committee has no problem with it, and I was too shocked to get to know that also, because the temple is least interested, to protect the interest of the devotees. So I think it's more like targeting towards our association there, and
Yeah.
other people over there, they haven't raised any problem. I don't know why they haven't, because they might be fearing the consequences which they have to suffer later. So I really have to talk to them regarding this.
No, my question was like, if we have to gather evidence that there are going to be shops which are going to just sell meat and fish near the proximity of the temple, you said that the panchayat members themselves told that there will be shops like this. So apart from you, has anyone else heard it? Like,
I mean,
that though they can be strong witnesses to
I
our
mean,
case. That's why I'm
see,
asking.
I mentioned that yesterday I got a summons. So summons, I
Okay.
got a summons saying that, I should not obstruct. So obviously, like all these things would have definitely been circulated, that they're planning for the, the shopping complex, and the proposed agenda, everything would have been stated there itself.
Do you know anyone
Yes.
else who have got the summons? You said around 15, you're representing
I
around
mean, of
15.
course, like I do receive the, summons yesterday. So I was in a hurry to just solve this problem. So I haven't gotten time to actually
Okay.
talk this matter to other devotees, but I think I'll
Yeah.
definitely get back to them and have a conversation with them regarding
Correct.
this.
Okay.
Again, before moving to solutions, I would like to summarize the case or whatever you just said. So basically, there is a Ganesha temple, which was like 15 acres of land belong to that particular committee of the Ganesha temple. but then slowly it was encroached by the the Panchayat committee, and then later, yeah.
I would like to like clarify there. See, like
Hmm.
I got the temple. I mean, see, like not me. I'm speaking for everyone. The temple land as well as the Ganesha temple, we have borrowed it. I mean, we have. I mean, it got donated to us by a Brahmin family 150 years ago,
Right.
and the elected company has been taking charge of it. So it's not
You
solely.
just said 300 years ago,
I
so
mean,
is it 300 or 150 years?
no. See, I've said that the Ganesha temple has a legacy, like a written history of
Okay.
300 years ago. I've said that clearly right here. And 150 years, we got it donated. It's been 150 years there.
Okay.
So there is a construction of a complex next adjacent to the Ganesha temple, and they will be selling meat and fish. So this is creating trouble to deities because as it is a Hindu temple being constructed, as there is a Hindu temple which is there from past 300 years, and this new shopping complex, and then permission is also given for the construction. So this is the main problem which we'll be dealing with, right?
I
Is
mean,
there any other issues to add?
I mean, yes, I do have few more issues to add here because I really wanted to know why the police authorities have taken that stand. Like, because I've received an NOC. I've received an NOC dated on 10th October. And I really don't know how to move forward with that because I didn't understand the whole concept behind it, but I got to figure out that that will actually give the temple committee a upper hand over there. So I really wanted to actually get to know that since I have been accused for this, since the police authorities have registered a complaint against me and the devotees, I really wanted to know.
Thank you. We understood the case. So basically, under what sections or what offense are you being summoned for?
I mean, I've been summoned only, for I mean, to not obstruct the the construction, the procedures, and
Do you know any section which is mentioned in the summons, or is it
uh,
just
I
for
have to
obstructing?
refer. I do not
Okay.
have.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll
I
figure
have
it
to
out.
refer.
Yep. So the first main goal is you want the stopping of the construction of the
Yes.
shopping mall, and because your rights to easementary rights are being affected, and it is also hurting the religious sentiments of you and the people who live around you, and you also have a problem with the temple committee encouraging the land encroachment and the
Totally.
involvement of police,
Yes.
and finally you want to give back the land which is encroached now back to the hands of the temple deity, right? Like these are the main issues that you want to
It's
face.
just that, at the end of the day, I really want the 15 acres of land as it is.
Right, exactly. Okay.
So with respect to this case, we have certain strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
So with respect to strength, according to law, that is Kerala that is Panchayat Raj Act. So under that section 235A, so building rules are being mentioned in that section, and it says that no construction shall be done if, and it can be done, but it shouldn't affect any of the people who are worshipping in public. So them constructing a complex where they're selling meat and fish will obviously cause harm to to the people who are worshipping there. So this is one of our strengths, and we have various weaknesses in this case. So firstly, we don't have solid documents which say that meat and fish is being sold in that particular complex. But then there are communications which are being done, and we can call witnesses for that as well. But then still,
Participants may
it
please
can be
note the remaining time for the
circumstantial.
consultation is 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hosh. And also, we don't have various documents which is related to land.
I mean,
Because
okay. See, I really wanted to say that because I have got manuscripts. I've really got manuscripts saying that the Ganesha temple and the land around it has been definitely used by the people for the ritual purpose, and everyone has seen it, acknowledged it. So I do have the manuscripts to produce it over there. So I do have that.
yeah, then that can play as one of our strengths as well. And then with respect to, yeah, we'll have to refer various documents to come to conclusion. So we want to refer the summons, and we also want all the original documents We will be
Whatever
sending a
you
mail
have.
to you with respect to it.
I mean, talking about the documents, like I've obstructed this. I mean, I've obstructed this construction on 1st October 2024, to which I have, and then FIR was registered on 11th October, and I do have the copy of the FIR. So even I can
Okay.
produce that.
Yeah. So the solution which we would want to, the course of action which we would want to take is primarily first take an injunction. So that is interim injunction, making sure that,
As in?
yeah, I'll explain you what it is. Yeah. So it basically prohibits people doing certain acts. So we will have to approach court and we'll have to take temporary injunction saying that the construction should not take place until this particular case gets over. And that is our short-term goal. And long-term goal will be saying that we need a permanent injunction, saying that permanently they're not supposed to build a complex which is where they will be selling meat and fish. So these are the two primary goals which we'll be referring. And with respect to the police authority, we'll also have to talk to police why haven't they taken these aspects into consideration. So we'll have to first discuss with them, and then we'll have to come to consensus with them as well. And with whatever grounds they tell, with whatever information they give, we can use that in this particular suit. And yeah, as I said, we'll have to refer all the documents. So we'll have to see the summons, and then we would want you to give all the original documents, whichever you said, the scripts, and also,
Yeah. The larger, these are the short-term goals and long-term goals, of course, but the larger aspect that we see here is that you are representing without having any private interest. And since you are fighting injustice against the Panchayat Raj actions, which is the state itself, like under Article 13 of the Constitution, even Panchayat Raj are considered as the state. So, and your right to freedom of religion is being violated here, is what I presume. So you can definitely file a PIL under Article 32 and approach the Supreme Court.
PIL?
PIL
it's public interest litigation.
Public interest
So
litigation.
basically, a group of people will file a case saying that it is affecting them.
Affecting
And
their fundamental
yeah,
rights.
so we can also go to Supreme Court and High Court as well with respect to this public interest litigation. So it is up to you which you want to choose. But because fundamental rights are violated, that is Article 25 of the Constitution, which says that you can practice, profess whichever religion you want. Because that is violated, we can go to Supreme Court directly under Article 30.
Or
with respect,
approach the Kerala High Court under Article 226, and you will definitely have the right to represent all these people who are being curbed off their freedom to practice their religion.
And also the other remedy which we'll be seeking is to make sure that the Ganesha temple and the committee will have all the 15 acres of land. So for this, we will be mentioning this in our PIL as well. And also, we need not want you to take a decision right now with respect to you choosing us as your attorneys. And yeah, we will give you time. We will be sending you non-confidential, non-disclosure agreement and retainer agreement. And I would like to explain certain things with respect to our office. So as my co-counsel mentioned, first session is completely free of cost and it is an introductory session. The second session, we will be wanting all the documents. So we will refer all the documents and based on that documents, we'll have a second session. So if you choose to choose us as your attorneys, this is the procedure. And the
Your allotted time.
session,
Your allotted time is over. Client,
judges, I would like to conclude. But 1 minute extra.
Judges.
Please, let him.
Okay. Thank you, judges. So the third session, we will decide the final course of action. But then this shall not be fixed. Any changes can happen to all these sessions. And do you have any questions for us?
I do not. I mean, of course, I just I do have the procedures like, no, when do we have the next session and the details regarding that, like how
We will mail you regarding the same.
and I do have this question. Like, of course, I'm representing for the other devotees also. So so when I get back, like, what all things should I just say to the other devotees just to calm them down and just to make them sure that we would get the the deserved.
You can say that you have approached an advocate office
Yeah.
and they are ready to take up this case.
Okay.
And we would want all the information about all other PTs as well. And also, it was wonderful meeting you.
Yes, thank you.
5
Thank you.
Mr. Vijayan, I had just one last query. Does this Ganesha temple come under any of the Devasom boards? Is it managed under the Devasom board?
I mean, we have. We have, since like we have inherited, so it's basically like it doesn't come under any registered thing. We have just donated. I mean, we got it
Okay.
by the Brahmin family, so
Yeah, thank you for that. And I will contact you if there is anything that you would want to tell more or any updates regarding the happenings around your around the temple. Or
Your allotted time is over.
Yeah.
Client, you may leave the session.
thank you.
I hope we convinced
Nice meeting
you
you.
how we can solve this case.
Yes, I
It
mean,
was a
again,
great
it's
session.
the sentiments which matters to me, and I want that to be protected.
Definitely, it'll be
Very
protected.
much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
And counsel, you may begin the post consultation.
Is it a business or is it consultation? What is it that you are doing?
So it is a business. So at a business in the sense, this
I'm
is
actually-
also a private interest litigation.
1 minute.
So we will have to keep the interest
What
as
is
well.
a private interest litigation and a public interest litigation?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
public interest litigation. Sorry.
Sri Kumar, please.
I think our time has not started. It is for them. That is
No.
their discussion time. No?
I'm sorry.
It's
Thank
their
you.
discussion time. Thereafter, we will step in.
Yes.
Yeah, please. I'm sorry. I was in a rush to get to the train. That's why.
So what do you think about the session, counsel?
Indeed, it is a public interest litigation case if we file a case in the High Court or the Supreme Court, and the temple does not come under any Devasom board. So that will also not be a problem. And clearly, the state is violating the fundamental right to freedom of religion. Apart from that, as you spoke, getting an interim injunction for the building of the shopping complex is the need of the hour, I believe.
Yeah. So I think we actually have a strong case here because there is Kerala Panchayat Raj Act, which actually says that in no construction shall be done, and if a construction is done, it shouldn't violate any person's rights. So that is any person who's going to pray or any person who wants to pray. So that person's right should not be violated. And this is actually mentioned in section 235 of the said act. And yeah, so it is a public worship place. So they're not supposed to construct. So we can actually build a strong case. And with respect to PIL, I think we can add this particular temple also as a party. It's because in various cases it is being mentioned that even the idols is a
Are
juristic person.
persons and they have the right to hold property.
Correct. Yeah, so the one of the important cases is the Ayodhya case. So in this case, it was also said the same. Yeah, and with respect to injunction, I think that's where we should primarily focus on, because after 3 to 4 days, they will start constructing. So we need injunctions with respect to the same.
Yes. As you said, in the most recent Ayodhya case, it was declared. And in the 1887 Dakor temple case, which is the landmark case, which declared that Hindu idols are juristic persons. So I think that is the main foundation of our case. And regarding the police filing a case for obstructing official duty against Mr. Vijayan, what do you think about that?
So we'll actually have to go and talk to police about it. So we'll have to confirm why they haven't done that. So we'll have to send a notice for them.
But
And then we'll
yeah, and also
yeah,
about the
and-
NOC, issued by the temple authorities saying that they don't have a problem.
Yeah, so we'll also have to talk to them as well, why
Correct.
they don't have a problem. It is affecting various people. So
Right.
15 plus people are being affected by this, and we don't know how many people are being affected as
And
well.
don't know about this.
So there might not be any number for it.
Correct.
And there are people who might not know about the construction and they might not know what they'll be selling after the construction. So this is a problem. So if not Supreme Court, if not High Court, we also can file a suit with respect to the same in civil courts as well. So under CPC, we can give a notice to government, and then that is the Panchayat Raj Committee saying that you are violating our rights. And also under Order 39, we can take an interim injunction, uh, which is temporary in nature. And our main prayer will be permanent injunction also. So we have, we can approach a Supreme Court, High Court, and also civil courts. So
Exactly.
which do you think is feasible in this case?
I think firstly we should go for the temporary injunction and the permanent injunction and file a suit in the civil court, jurisdictional civil court. And since the violation of fundamental rights are also happening, not just fundamental rights, even constitutional rights like Article 31 and 300A, which says we have persons have the right to own property. Since these are being violated by the state, Panchayat Raj under Article 13, I think it'll be better to approach the Kerala High Court in this matter after we've got in the injunctions.
So our main intention behind this is to make sure that the status quo of the temple is there, and we also have to focus on taking the other land which is being
Which has
held
been
by the
encroached.
panchayat. Yeah, so basically 12 acres or something land has been encroached by them.
Correct.
So we'll also have to file a suit for that as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And about the case for obstructing official duty, I think we can definitely protect the interests of our Mr. Vijayan by doing the required procedure.
Now summons is being given to our client.
Right.
So for that, I think we'll have to read the summons first to understand what the
Participants may
problem is.
please note your 5 more minutes for your post consultation.
Thank you, Harshit. So we'll first have to read the summons and then decide what offense is being committed.
Correct.
And also we should understand what the problem is.
Exactly.
So we should and summons is already being issued. So suit is already initiated.
Yes.
So we'll also have to fight that case first.
Yeah.
And then
regarding why the temple has issued an NOC, we have to find out what is going behind this NOC being given, like whether the panchayat is involved, whether the temple committee members are getting any profit out of the panchayat encroaching the land or any of that sort. We will have to do a little bit of inquiry on that as well. And
according to me, I think even the temple committee
Correct.
is being
involved in this
particular act. I think they are profited.
Correct.
So we will have to look into it as well.
Yes.
So we can frame a case saying that even temple committee is involved in certain acts and people are getting people's rights are getting violated, still they're not taking into concerns.
Correct.
And I think that particular temple committee should be changed.
Yeah,
because they're
we
not.
can definitely file an application to bring it under the Devaswam board. That's why I asked the client if it is already under, which would have made it easier, but unfortunately not.
So do you think mediation also can be a course of action where?
No, I don't think so in this case, because there are two parties. There are more than two parties.
There are various parties. Yes. It makes sense.
And we can't bring all of them together under one roof. And clearly, violation of fundamental rights can't be dealt under mediation. So that is definitely not an option. Firstly, we'll go to approach a civil court for the injunctions, and secondly, approach the constitutional courts for the violation of fundamental rights by the state. I think that will be the course of action. Is there anything?
And we'll also have to refer the summons and make sure that we dealt with that issue.
We will have to deal with that issue. Yes.
Yes.
Other than this, is there anything?
I think you'll have to. Yeah, I think you'll have to mail saying that these are the documents we are required, and I think we'll have to refer various documents
Correct.
such as mutation deed and all. So it's a 150-year-old 300-year-old
The
temple.
manuscripts
but-
can be used as strong evidence to say that the land indeed belonged to the temple.
Yeah, so we'll need a copy of that as well. So
Mhm.
what all documents we require.
Yeah.
So you'll have to send a mail to our client with
Yes.
regards to that. And also don't forget
Participants
to
may
send.
please note you have 1 more minute for post consultation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hoshin. And also don't forget to send the non-disclosure agreement
I
and
will
retainer
send.
agreement.
Yeah, I will get in
And
touch.
also
with the
mention, and also mention about our fee structure. And also mention if they're having a financial crunch, we can
Yes.
take this case.
We've already
as a
mentioned
pro
that
bono.
over, and we will look into it again.
Yeah,
Um,
just mention it in the mail as well again. So
I think we do
we
have
will
a
want, we will
pretty
also want certified copies of various things. So
Uh,
we'll do preliminary research on that.
we have to start the
And also do preliminary research on these laws which we just mentioned, right?
Yes.
So I think, yeah, that's
And I will definitely get in touch with the client regarding if he has, Mr. Vijayan has anything else that he forgot to say during the session and then later on ask if he would like to continue with our services. And we will definitely begin our preliminary research. Is there anything else? That's
I think that's it. I think we shall meet at 7 o'clock today and then start drafting various documents with regards to the same.
Thank you.
Judges may please note the question answer session starts now. The session is for 5 minutes.
Yeah, all said and done. You want to have a constitutional court intervening or a civil court intervening?
So, firstly, for stopping the construction of the temple, we can definitely approach the Supreme Court, the constitutional courts, and get an injunction there as well. But since this is happening at the construction is happening at such a fast pace, I think the civil court will be the easiest and quickest remedy.
The client has been sleeping for some time. I mean, how do you answer that?
Sir, the client, Mr. Vijayan, said he stopped the construction on 10th October, and then an FIR was filed and he got a summons on 11th October.
That's all precipitation. That's all precipitation. But the major issue is that when did the construction start? Was he aware or was he not? Or is there any question of limitation as far as a diet is concerned?
So with respect to that, we don't have any information. So we'll have to talk about the same to the client in the next session, like when the construction started and when did the client get to know about the complex where they'll be selling meat and fish. So we don't have strong evidence on that. So we'll have to work on that as well.
You may just work upon one thing, deity, or for that matter, any god or goddess is a perpetual minor. There's no limitation. Just think about that.
Yes.
And you are thinking only in terms of your client. Like, I mean, what about the other person's fundamental right to carry on trade and commerce?
So,
but
trade and
there's
commerce
already
falls
a law.
under Article 19 of the Constitution, and Article 19, Clause 2 to 6 are again have restrictions. So, we are not saying you don't do the construction of this building at all. We are just saying don't do it here. We're not completely prohibiting, we're just restricting them.
Okay, I'll just rephrase it. Okay,
Yes.
I'll give you money back. You come to Antarctica.
Sir, but actually that land belongs to temple. And yes.
One second, Sigmar sir, please.
Yes, one aspect.
Yes.
From your consultation with the conference with your client, what was your client stand about the right of the panchayat? What type of right did the panchayat raise against him? Did you get any information regarding the claim of the panchayat?
So,
did you ask any question about it?
As per what we did ask, the panchayat has been encroaching the land. Out of the 15 acres, they have been encroaching
that is
land.
your client's case.
That's their client statement.
Now your client has come to defend their suit. Is it not so? He is
Yes,
a
sir.
defendant in a suit.
Yes,
He
sir.
has come to defend a suit. What is the claim raised by the Panchayat in that particular suit? Did you get
Sir, the
any
client is actually
detail?
not read the summons properly. So we would
Judges,
want to receive the
Yes.
summons.
judges may
Yes.
please
You
note
are-
there is 1 minute left for the question and answer
Okay,
session.
just give
You
us
are
3
the
minutes.
you are the counsels. You are the counsels. When a client comes to you with a summons, is it not your duty to look into the summons and verify the plaint? You have been
But
making
the summons was
discussions.
not bought by the client.
So this is the first
judges.
Then how
meeting
can
ever.
how can you discuss the matter without
That's why
seeing the
we
complaint
asked.
against?
It's just a
You should have-
preliminary session,
What
judges.
is the primary?
So-
What is the primary document? When somebody says that a petition has been filed against me, what is the document that you should look into? Is it not the petition?
Yes,
Did you
judges.
ask him? Did
We
you ask the
completely
client?
agree with that.
Did you ask anything about the petition to the client?
Yes.
Yes,
What-
judges.
what-
We asked
what
him
did you
under what offense was he booked under, or why the summons was given.
That's a criminal
But
thing.
the client's
That is a
reply was,
That is a criminal act. Now he has come to you with a summons received from a civil court, restraining him from obstructing a particular work carried out by the panchayat. So
You have
naturally,
been very
panchayat might have
lavish in
raised a
saying
claim.
that prohibitory injunction, other injunctions, everything. But end of the day, he is suffering a order from the
He
court.
has suffered an order. So the court might have granted an order based on some claim raised by the panchayat. So what was the claim raised by the panchayat? Is it not the primary thing that one you should look into?
yes, judges, but actually the client did
Then
not
what
know
is
what
the
the
right?
reason was.
The client may
so-
say it is encroachment, trespass, whatever word he can use. But now the court has granted an injunction. So court will not grant an
Yes,
injunction based
judges.
on encroachment.
So
there
we
will be
will
some
ask
entry.
for the document in the future session, and we will refer the document, and then we can give him the session. As I mentioned, we'll have 3 sessions. First is just an introductory session. The second session is where we receive all the documents, where we'll refer it, and then if we have any questions, we'll ask him. And the third session is what we have decided for
But
choosing
end of the
course
session,
of
you
action.
should have a client alive, no?
And how can you assure the client
yes,
about some
but-
relief? You are offering the client that we can do this thing, we can do that thing. Without seeing
no,
these
I mean-
documents, how can we do these things?
Yes, judges, we just said that these
Preliminary
can be the
things
solution.
you should put it. No?
Completely agree with that, judges. But unfortunately, our client did not know what was mentioned in the summons. So
Client
we
is a
actually
layman.
had to skip to the next.
We are not adjudicating the client. We are adjudicating the court officers or the judges or may rather like the advocates who are giving assistance. If this
You
is
are
the
the
kind
lawyer.
of assistance being given, that's very bad.
Client is a layman. He does not know anything about law. He does not know what
Absolutely,
document he should bring.
absolutely.
You should ask him whether you have the
That's
copy
the
of the
reason
claim.
we
You
said
did
that
not
we
ask.
will.
We did
None of
ask.
you You did not
What?
ask him for the copy of the petition. You did not ask him for the copy of the
Sir,
claim.
we.
No,
yes,
you
Judge.
only asked about
We-
summons. What is the
You asked
section
him
mentioned
about
in the
the
summons?
One minute,
sections
Judge.
involved in the
We
summons.
also mentioned that we will be sending a mail with respect to same, like what all documents we require. So this is one such document which we will be mentioning in the email.
Accepted.
And we'll send
Accepted.
it.
But in the post-consultation discussion, you did not discuss anything about that. You did not even discuss about the reason for the claim. You did not
We'll
even
do one
discuss
thing.
about the
We will
possibilities
We
ask
also.
asked
Answer to
judges,
ask the
but
final question.
unfortunately, the client did not know what the reason was for the summons.
He has
The client
got
said
the
that.
summons and does not know what to do, and that's why he has come here, sir. We are yet to look into what actually the summons is or anything. We don't have access to any of those documents. And after this session, I will definitely mail him and get all the copies of those documents.
That's
That
wonderful.
We can judge
Anil
you
sir,
only
Judges.
after 3 postings. Sir.
Judges, please note that the extra time is over.
Okay,
Yes,
Anil sir got a 2 minutes time. I mean,
Yes,
he's
sir.
got a reservation.
Yes, sir.
No, my only query is nowhere in your post client consultation also were you discussing about the summons or the plaint which is now he has come to you on being summoned by a court and there is an injunction order which is staring at him, and neither did you discuss amongst yourself about that. You did question him about the sections involved in the proceedings.
Absolutely.
Judges, actually, we asked for the petition, but then they did not. I mean, the client did not know anything about the same. So we thought we'll go with the next
No, the
topic.
first thing that
and-
happens is when clients come to you confronted with an injunction order, is ask for a copy of it. And then you will have to express your reservation to say that unless you give us the copy of the plaint, we will not be in a position to advise you. Because courts are giving an injunction on the basis of a prima facie case made out.
Pleadings,
On the basis
simple
of pleadings. So there is some pleading which is worked against the client. So therefore,
Yes,
primary
judges.
thing you should have asked for is a
So-
copy of that summons or that.
Correct, judges. But the first round was the first session, which our firm follows, is just a mere introduction for what the problem they're facing, so that we can ask what documents we require. So we will mail what documents we
Sir,
require. So
I'll
we
ask
will
you
also
one
mention
question.
that a petition is required.
Somebody is swimming, and you will say that he is about to drown, but you will give a first course in preliminary swimming, and then let him drown.
No, judges, but
It doesn't work like that, judges. Indeed, we can't tell. We'll give you a preliminary course in swimming, but the situation is not the same. The client just approached us with bare hands. We did ask, send all the copies through email, and we will look into the summons and how to deal with the injunction order which is given against him and defend his case.
so after we get the petition, we will obviously look into it and discuss regarding the same.
All the very best. All the very best.
Thank you, judges.
It was a pleasure presenting before you, judges. Thank you.
Jai-
Indeed, it was ours. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you, judges, for your valuable feedback. With this, we have come to an end of this session. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the judges and the participants of the kind corporation. Now you may leave the meeting.
Thank you, host. Thank you for hosting the session.
Judges, is there any feedback which you would want to give us?
Madam, is it a part of this game or?
Judges may please, you can give any feedback if you have.
Yeah, of course. So the problem is, it's not your fault actually. We are also lawyers. We have our interns with us. Now I understand that the problem itself is with the advocate's office. Because mainly when you are doing the internship, you are attending court works, or maybe you are reading briefs, etc. That is one fact. But now I realize that during consultation with clients also, we should permit interns to sit with us.
Absolutely. We
No,
don't
I
what
realize
happens
that.
before the case is
Because,
filed.
yeah, because the basic thing is when somebody comes to you with a complaint, the first thing you have to look into is what is the complaint. You fail to note that. You are guided by client's versions. Client may say it is trespass, encroachment, whatever it is. But what is the right claim to the panchayat? Only after understanding the case, you can defend it. Here a party is coming to you to defend a case. Is on the respondent side or defendant side. So you have to understand what is the complaint. That's the basic thing. Because legal issues, other remedies, etc., we may not be able to give an opinion offhand. Because even we need to discuss, or sometimes we have to refer also. Because lawyers are always not ready with answers. We will have to do the work. But primary thing is, you have to understand what is the complaint. Then only the client will have confidence in you. Because now assume that if it was an actual client, what he should have thought about you? Because you did not ask for the complaint. Because they also have common sense. They will feel that even without seeing the complaint, they were advising me.
They were advised to
That's
approach
the
the
fact.
Constitutional Court.
Even the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
Yes. The fault is with us only, I understand.
Absolutely,
because as seniors, we also failed to do that. Now I understand because it's actually an eye-opener to us also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
will also
judges,
try
we
to-
asked the client about this summons.
No,
And then
don't
the
try to
client did
explain
not.
it. Don't try to explain it. You did not ask the client. You asked the client
Yes.
what are the sections
Sections involved in that summons.
included in the summons. You even failed to notice that this is a summons from the
Summons,
civil
yes,
court
yes,
after
sir.
granting an injunction order. You assume that it is a summons from the criminal court
Criminal
asking him to appear.
Correct.
So there, you have failed to understand the basic issue itself.
The distinction
But it's-
between a criminal matter and a
Yeah.
civil suit was missed. You missed
Was
the
missed.
part. And you were advising him on availing of constitutional remedies under 32,
Constitutional remedy.
226 and all that. First, he has to establish his right. He will have to get himself declared. Anyway,
It's
this
not
is
your
the
fault.
process
Actually,
of learning.
it is as seniors, we apologize for that. It is our fault also. We should have trained interns more better. Now it is an eye opener. We will do something in that regard.
Thank
Because
you.
we also send them to courts. We also ask them to read this and that. But now on, we will try to make them sit with us when we deal with clients. Anyway, it's a good experience.
Thank you, sir.
Apologies, judges, for
No question
No,
of
don't
any apology.
apologize. Don't apologize.
No,
It's
no,
a process of
Don't be
learning.
apologetic. It's a
It's a
part of
process of-
learning.
But when we were students, we never had these opportunities. We
No.
came up the rustic way up.
Yes.
We had only those moot courts, and that too again one moot court competition.
One moot code is there.
in
Only
the
one
whole
moot
year.
code. Even court work was also often copied from some record.
Yes.
Nowadays, you have internship, many other things. So you can utilize those things.
All the
Okay,
very best.
of luck.
Thank you.
All
Thank
the
you.
very best.
thank you,
Thank you.
judges.
Bye.
Thank you so much.